Episode 1 of the Moon or Dust Show, dude. Finally. All right, yeah, let me share this on my Twitter. And it's already shared on Twitter. Let me go share it in my server. You do as well. Say hi, sir. Don't be shy.
What's up? Yeah, let me stage fright.
Everyone tag. The start of every episode is going to be this. It's going to be us saying like, well, hold up, I got to share this on my Twitter. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Moon or Dust, which is a show by Ash and myself. First live stream of Moon or Dust show is live. Come watch or else.
Yeah, I want to see how this shows up on, because I streamed it to X.
Oh, you're streaming as well. You could also stream it to your YouTube channel.
I want to see how this looks.
Yeah, and then live. Cool. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Somebody joined the chat. You could also see their chat on the top, and then we could show it. We could show it here. Boom, he appears.
Oh,
we got a Sappy Seal. Sappy Seal in the audience. What's good?
How do I see chat on StreamYard? Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
got
on
it.
the right side.
All right, yeah, we're good. Yeah, all right. So what's up? Yeah, episode number 1. I hope we sound good. I didn't tweet about this. Should I do that?
If your stream is live, it'll auto tweet.
Okay. Well,
yep.
let's just do this and let's just see how it goes. How about that?
Yep. Go for it. You kick it off while I need to fix the thumbnail here for YouTube.
All right, what's going on, guys? So this is me and Gorilla, episode number 1, Moon or Dust. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on over the past week. We have not done a space. We have been trying to figure out the formatting of what the show is going to look like, and it turned into us saying, you know what? Let's just fire up a stream. Let's put it on the YouTube. Let's put it on Twitter, and let's start to do what we do best, which is video content. So today we're going to go over pretty much everything that's been going on in the market. I know a lot of people have been talking about the Bitcoin ETF. We are probably not going to talk about that at all because it already happened and that is not really interesting. So we're not going to do
and
that.
What value can we add to that other than like Bitcoin's going up?
Yeah, and yeah, we're just not even going to get into it. So I think what we're going to do is we are obviously going to discuss the typical Web3 gaming that is going on, like whether it's the market, upcoming games, stuff that we've played. Obviously, there's other stuff such as just legacy NFTs and the things that have gone on in the market, such as Bored Apes, Moonbirds, Clone X. All of them are not looking very good at all. So we can start really wherever. If anything, you know what would be cool is to pull up Blur. You want to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pull up Blur. Let's take a look at the board.
Boom. Look at that, dude. We got things on the screen.
This is much better. I like this a lot. Want to say what's up to Razzo and to Panda One and to Dave T, who I know is in your group, JB. We might not always be talking to everybody just because we want to try to keep things going, and we know that people are going to watch this back. So for this first one, maybe we're gonna be like a little bit off track, but we're gonna try to keep it as punctual as possible. So anyway,
I also got to figure out a better way of zooming, but for now, here we go. Let's get the names in there. Yeah, we got Blur on screen. We got some pump and dumps. I mean, do we do one at a time? If we look at them, Tin Fun just dropped.
We can start with Tin Fun.
Yeah, so sure. Let's go for it.
Yeah, Tin Fun it's crazy because I had a chat open with them 3 weeks ago, and they wanted to collab, and I went and I looked and I saw that the artist, his main collection was a 520 supply collection. I think the floor was at 3 or 4 ETH. And I was just like, okay, so the Genesis collection is pretty high. I don't really know too much about this. I know that it's the Asian market. And so they were doing 5,000 for pre-sale, right? Or for whitelist. And then there was another 5,000 that was for public. And I'm sure a lot of people saw, Gorilla, I know that you tweeted about this, that there ended up being a raffle. So 5,000 were raffled. There was 25,000 ETH that was deposited in for the raffle. I believe that if you deposited, you had a 1.5% chance to win. And now the floor is 0.9. So did you see this coming? Did you meant?
I
And
thought it
where do
would
you
be
see this
higher, to
going?
be honest. Whitelist was selling for I think 15 or $1,800. I thought it would be higher than this, but no, I knew this was coming. I covered uh, Lasercat's first project a while back. He's actually famous in China, or in Asia. So yeah, it wasn't a shocker. We had whitelist, same thing for our group. I gave them all away. I got lucky and I won. I won one of two. I'm still holding right now. It's at 0.9, but I thought it would be above 1 ETH. Like I could see it opened up here, it kind of tanked, and then all the way down to 0.7, and now it's climbing up, which is great. But I thought it would be higher than this. But no, it's great to see. He's famous, so I'm not shocked at all. And now I'm seeing a bunch of projects being posted on Twitter, being like, "This is the next tin fun. Are you looking for?" Kind of like when Moonbirds happened, and people were like, "Oh, the next Moonbirds." I remember I did that for my Chimpers video, calling it, "Oh, next Moonbirds."
Chimpers did cook.
Yeah, from its mint price, it was like a 50x. So technically, it wasn't Moonbirds. It just didn't go to 50 ETH. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it did. It did a lot better than I think a lot of people expected. I did see in my Discord that people were posting about what whitelist was selling for in that other Discord. And when you see that, I feel like that's a pretty good indication as to whether or not something's going to do well. If you see whitelist, because I saw there were two whitelists that sold for $4,500, which is kind of crazy. And I don't know if that guy's up yet because I would have to like do the math because now it's weird because ETH is at 2,700.
mm.
So it's like,
He's at 27, dude. I haven't checked ETH prices today.
yeah, everything's
Nice.
mooning right now today for
Let's
sure.
go. Yeah, there's also it's funny seeing all these whitelists sell. We all see that same picture from that server. It's good though. It gives you the good indication. PvP was selling, I think, for $1,800. Their mint is supposed to be live. It's a small supply, but I think they delayed it a little bit. Chat, if you guys see that the mint is live, let me know because I got a mint live on stage here.
Yeah,
But
the mint button wasn't working. I don't know what was going on with that. But Alyssa, hi. Parker, what's up? Ejun Gaming, what's going on? Avero, what's up, guys? What's up,
yeah,
chat?
so dude, let's take a look at apes. So board apes down pretty bad once again. I mean, they had made their way back above 30, and now they're under 30, and now they're approaching, potentially going under 20. Why did this happen in your opinion? I saw this tweet by Zir, who leads Board Ape Singapore, and he was saying he's blaming Blur basically. Do you agree with this? Do you think Blur is the culprit, or do you think it's beyond that?
I think it's like both. I think it's a little bit of both. Like obviously there's if you and I could pull this up, but like if you go look at the loans and you see how underwater a lot of the loans are for board apes and mutants, they're just a very over leveraged collection. And it's obviously because like they're the top collection, so that's where it's going to have like the most trading. And so yeah, it's not good. I wouldn't blame all of it on Blur. I would definitely blame some of it, but I think most of the blame honestly just comes from the cascade effect of the past 2 years of there just being all the airdrops. I think that the collection got way too big, and also, and this is a big thing, is that whenever you do introduce staking and a token, that is going to have either a very negative effect or a very positive effect depending on how the token does. And the token is doing very poorly, and it's trading at like $1.50, 170 or something. I would have to look, but it's not a good look when the token is just dead pretty much. There's no use case for it. And I think a lot of people are also, I think the culture is changing. I don't think personally that board apes have the same prestige that they once did. So I think that there's a lot that goes into that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Mav brought it up here saying like what's the main use of, and he doesn't agree with here that it's more than Blur. Okay, I agree that Blur has done stuff to NFTs. I love Blur. First of all, they give us the exit liquidity when you want to get out of something fast, especially if you hold a bunch. There's bids there to give you money. You dump it into somebody. And without that, I do feel floors would be a lot lower because people would be undercutting each other way more because they don't have those bids that they can just go accept. Yes, there's bids on OpenSea, but it's not the same thing as on Blur. The other thing he brings up is the whole what made apes what they were. It was the whole ape culture. Like I remember during the whole Wall Street bet stuff, and there's this video I go back and watch every once in a while, and it's like this montage somebody put together of a bunch of people singing a song, and it's edited for like apes. It's not about Bored Apes, but I like to view it as Bored Apes because they use Planet of the Apes as one of like the videos in the background, and every time I watch it, I'm like, we need this culture back, the ape culture. For that to happen, I feel everybody needs to feel rich again, and then they just start YOLOing into stuff. But what do apes represent? They represent, status. It's a club membership. And obviously, you want money from future airdrops, which most of that has been played out for apes. But to me, it's really the status symbol that they've lost. Not because obviously, partially because the price went down. If a Rolex stopped being worth a Rolex, nobody would care. But as an ape, like I feel like maybe it's because now they're very focused on gaming. Maybe because, and I understand if you have all the VCs, they all want to make more money. How do you do that? It's not going to be with the status symbol and like a club membership. It's going to be by having a multi-billion-dollar gaming studio and getting out games. So I understand that direction, but the whole culture of apes really was that status. So how do you get back to it? I mean, that's a rough question. I'm not sure if they really care about it. I think they're just focused on the gaming. And obviously here we have mutants also trending downwards. They've broken under 4, but by that standard, like shouldn't other deeds be pumping then if people care? Like, do apes even care about games? I think a mass majority of apes do not game or do not care about the game. They cared about the whole club side. They cared about the status side. And I feel just like Yuga Labs isn't paying any little bit of attention. Like they have so much money. Can't you just put a team to handle that? They were doing the Made by Ape stuff, and that seemed really cool. And then the official announcement when it came out was like just like a little article. It's as if they really didn't care about it. And they're just like, here's your little toy, guys. We're just going to focus on other deeds.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of like what's going on with D-Gods, where D-Gods, they claim to be a membership, they claim to be like a club. I think that when I was listening to Kevin on a space, they mentioned like something about it being like Soho House, and that's like what they're trying to do. And to me, it's just like, I guess I'm not in that community, so I don't feel it. But when I look back at what apes were, it's like you had Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon, Tom Brady, Steph Curry, like all these big celebrities. And in my mind, I'm thinking if you own an ape, like they're eventually going to host events. And it's like, imagine if apes got so big and that was like the membership token that, you could be going to parties with like all these like A-list celebrities. And it's like a way that like you can like kind of buy into that club, opposed to just like being naturally a celebrity and then you just get invited to stuff. And so I think that like really cooled off. Like it was so hot. And now it's like, and this is the question. It's like, what is the prestige? And is it just because you own an expensive JPEG? I don't know. And then to your point about like, do apes care about gaming? And there's just no doubt that Yuga did bet the house. They bet everything on the other side. And the question there is like, once it's built out, what is going to be the incentive to use it? Why is that one going to be the one? Why are people gonna play on the other side? Like that's and we don't know that yet, but that to me is like the question with Yuga.
Yeah, then they dropped. I mean, I remember the old trailers they would drop for the other side. Remember that full trailer with that ape and then the coda that like comes and they interact and he
Yeah,
like
it was
rescues
good.
him and all. That was dope. That got
It
me
was
so
awesome.
hyped. I wanted a coda. Watching this, like I know there was the whole like they released one with low quality, whatever. Forget that. Even this is still low quality. Like this does not look good. I don't like the colors that they chose. I guess everybody seems to be picking this color palette because of GTA, but like this does not make me want to play other side at all. Like it's not enticing what they're doing. It just seems very weird
Yeah.
overall. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the question there is, once this is fully out, what if I'm just gonna pose the question, what if people don't like it? What happens?
Agreed. Yeah, dude. Oh, we got Hustle PD in the audience. What's good, buddy? Agreed. Most games fail. Like most games fail. A lot of people in Web3 are going to have to realize this, that, your bags aren't just going to pump. Most games in Web 2 absolutely fail. So why would this succeed? They need to be marketing to a Web 2 audience, not just to a Web 3 audience. Right now, it feels very Web 3, and that's a very small niche. You're not going to have a big player base, and the marketing, it just feels average. The other
Well,
thing, sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say, like, I don't think that they can market to Web 2 right now because there's no reason to. There's no call to action. It's like you put it out there and it's like Grand Theft Auto has built that repertoire. Like when they can tease whatever they want because everybody already knows it. But it's like, how can they even market this thing? Like legit, like I could obviously put together some like great plan if I wanted to, but it's like if you don't have the other side ready, how do you market this to a Web 2 audience?
Would you buy an ape? At what price, if yes?
Well, the problem is that, as we know, there are a lot of other places that you could put ETH where you could get more multiples, right? And so the question is, like, if do these bottom at 15 and then do they run back to 30? Like, what's going to be, like, we always talk about catalysts. And so I don't know. And honestly, I really don't like how we're 2 years into the like just NFTs being big and everything. And these are now sitting at like its all-time low in terms of ETH price. So to answer your question, I think it's more of like I'd probably, if you had to ask me, would I rather buy two pudgy penguins or one bored ape? Which am I buying right now? And I'm buying the penguins.
Yeah, as a trade, penguin. There's still something about ape. Like, dude, I'm rocking a Bored Ape from Ape Fest hoodie right now. I love this hoodie. There's still something about apes. Like, I still want one, but I want
Mhm.
it for the wrong reasons. Like, I want an orange background. I put it as my PFP, but it's like you said. There's so many trade. If I put 23 ETH into this versus putting 23 ETH into an altcoin, what's going to give me better returns? If I put 23 ETH into Solana, am I going to get more returns from Solana or Bored Apes? I'd vote Solana.
100%. I agree. That's the issue and I think a lot of people are viewing it that way. I've seen that there have been some old Bored Ape holders that have started to get frustrated. And the other thing is when you look at how over leveraged they are, it really doesn't make you feel good knowing that there's so many of them that are going to be that there's like a lot of loans that are going to be liquidated. And so it's just it's not very healthy. Like the market on them is not very healthy. And I think the issue is that there's a lot of them and there's just not a lot of natural buyers for a lot of these reasons that we're talking about.
Agreed. And I mean, it's not just Bored Apes. We have a few collections. We have Moonbirds finally breaking under 1 ETH. We also have Clone X. Granted, Clone X is double the supply. It's a 20K supply, or not all of them have been opened, but let's just say 20K supply. Also broke under 1. It's so strange to see them at the same price because it does feel like Moonbirds have checked out. We recently had that stream where Kevin Rose was talking about doing ketamine and all this, and it feels just like they're completely checked out. Whereas Artifact is still actively building, and there's something coming up. But it's funny that they've gone down together. I don't know why there was this major dump right here, right here that happened for both of them. Or this one's been more of a steady decline. But we're seeing all these PFP collections just go down bad. And gaming has been doing, we'll take a look at that later in the stream. Gaming just doing incredibly well. Obviously, I think I know the answer, but if you had to buy one of these two, which would it be?
Neither. I just
You're
wouldn't, man.
forced. You're forced.
If I had to buy one, I'd buy the
Yeah.
clone. I would
Yeah.
never touch Moonbirds. Never. There's no reason why I would buy a Moonbird ever. They don't even get me started, man. The only reason why I would buy a Moonbird is if they got bought out. I think a lot of people have that sentiment, but even if they did get bought out, I wouldn't buy it. Like, I think one thing that we're seeing now is that the legacy NFTs from the old run, right? They're not it. Like I think that there isn't enough excitement to keep people interested. And so instead, people would I mean, think about it like this. Tin Fun has been live for literally an hour, and it's almost the price of these collections.
Yeah, but
And
that's just the market trading, right? And I hope Tin Fund does extremely well. For all we know, it's going to be at 0.1 post reveal. It's going to just have a major dump, and people are going to stop talking about it and stop caring about it.
right. I'm not saying obviously that like it's just weird when you look at how Tin Fun is at 0.9 and then Clone X is at 1 ETH. Like even old, like when clones were at 20 ETH, like three landers would drop the next hype project, like three landers, and it went to like 2 ETH or something like that. It's not like a new project would launch and then it would just go and cook that heart, unless art gobblers or something like that. But you see what I mean? It's like it's weird that a brand new project that just launched is so close to these legacy NFTs.
Yeah, here Parker bringing up if they is there any chance CloneX do a token? Everybody wants tokens for these projects. I mean, I could see it would make sense for clones to do a token, especially, dude. I brought them out. Let me pull them out. I got my shoes here that I ordered. I haven't worn them. I tried them on. They're not comfortable at all. It feels like wearing plastic. Sorry to the makers of these. I got my shoes. Like, dude, they could introduce some walk to earn mechanics with these, similar to what Steppen did. Especially that, I mean, dude, I was so hyped for Animus. Animus eggs, these were at 1 ETH. I'm happy I sold mine, dude. I'm pretty sure I sold close to 1 ETH with the plan to buy back around 0.2, 0.3. But they've just been ranging around here. I know Jeffrey bought the other day and then it got dumped again. But Animus is one of the coolest things that they have coming up. I think the problem most people have with Artifact and CloneX is that we're really kept in the dark, and the delays, dude. These shoes, they delayed it like twice. It already took like a year to get. They delayed it twice. I just ordered. I have a weird love-hate relationship with Artifact. Like, I've lost 30 grand trading their stuff, and when the whole shoe thing happened, I lost like 10K in a minute. But I still buy all their products. I have multiple hoodies, t-shirts. Obviously, I have the shoes. I ordered the dunks. That feels like the only utility they gave us throughout 2023. It was, hey, you could give us more money for stuff before the public can give us more money, because the collections didn't sell out anyways. So everybody was able to buy stuff either way. What are those with the shoes? Yeah, I did. I've got a couple pair of dunks. They only arrive next summer. That's a problem. It takes a really long time for them to arrive. So I think dunks are only in June unless they get delayed again. The Animus eggs, dude, we were supposed to get more info originally in January 2023. That is literally 1 year ago, where we were just supposed to get info on what's going to happen. And it's been a year. And now, thankfully, they did tweet that in Q1, they're going to be launching it. These look super cool, dude. Like, if they have a game that is ready around this, whether it's like, I think I'm being way too optimistic when I say Pokemon Go, where you could walk around with the shoes and then hatch your egg. I know the pods also have the incubation where you can hatch eggs through there, but these look awesome. A lot of people compare it to Pixelmon. It's like a cross between like Pixelmon, Pokemon, and Digimon. Like, these look super cool. Do you have
Yeah.
a
Yeah, I mean, they look cool. It just doesn't do it for me. Like this is cool. The project as a whole just doesn't.
mm,
I feel like what they need to do is they need to hire somebody to tell their story.
mm,
You know, like I think that's what they need. It's like, and I think a lot of projects need this too. Obviously, like I'm pushing for this, but it's like these projects need, and I think one of the projects that did a really good job with this is Chimpers with NFT Nate. Like they hired him and he gives updates as to what is going on with the project. I think that's awesome. It gives the community a piece of content to rally around, and then they can share it, and then it's attention because that's like the economy that we live in. And I think that like, I mean, shit. They all these projects need to do this. Like CloneX needs to do it. Moonbirds, they desperately need. I mean, they need a lot of stuff, but like D Gods should have done this. Utes, I mean, God, there's so many. Whatever, we could go down this the rabbit hole, but like I think that's like one of the problems that I have with this is like this project, like it's just not enticing to me from like an outside standpoint.
But Utes has a lot of people representing them and who love using them as their brand. They could have capitalized on that. Same thing for Artifact, but they do. They have a ton of creators who love creating stuff, and they give them tools. They support them. They do a lot with them. But for me, it's really the communication, and we're kept in the dark. Somebody in the audience here asked, do you think we ever see them at all-time high 10 to 20 ETH?
No.
I don't, but I do see them having like a comeback from 1 ETH depending on what they start putting out in 2024. If it's just season 2 of the clothing of the forging event, like forget it. Like nobody's gonna care. As cool as the clothes can look, the clothing is really expensive too. Like people are, it's a very niche audience who are gonna buy, you know, a $300 hoodie. I bought it and then I flipped the NFT, so I was able to make most of my money back. But it's, you know, it's, you basically need whales who don't care about money and they just want to buy stuff. And you could just go buy the NFTs anyways because they get airdropped. So you don't even need, I guess, to hold the clone unless you need one to forge it. I forget how it works. But yeah, I think they have a lot of work to do. And I'm still excited for this Animus egg. I haven't bought any yet though, because one, there's still I think 10K to be minted, and two, like, dude, I've been burnt so many times and kept in the dark. I did ask though to participate for this. They're doing like some testing for, I guess, an app or something. So
Mhm.
I asked to be a tester. We'll see if that comes through. But yeah, overall, man, we're seeing all these PFPs. I mean, a great segue into the other one, which is Azuki. They've had their problems. You know, we all know they've had their problems. They recently announced the whole. Let me get the links up here for it. But the Weeb Foundation, or Weeb3 Foundation, which is their token, or we assume it's their token, but it's pretty much their token. This got a lot of people excited for a very short amount of time. Like it was a major pump and dump on all three collections. On Azuki, if I go find elementals here, I should star them that way I can grab them faster. Let's just stay on Azuki. All three did it.
Mhm.
Elementals, Azuki, and Beans. It was just a pump and dump. And I do find it funny that they dropped this a day or two after somebody found the San Fran Tokyo. And I don't think this was supposed to be leaked, but somebody found it. The San Fran Tokyo, you could see here, location San Fran Tokyo. The Anime Foundation, they're both going for that anime ticker. It's going to be, it feels like it's going to be a battle. I guess maybe they posted their tweet because they're like, okay, people found this. We want to capture the Anime Foundation. But if you compare the floors of both, here it's going to be my favorites, of San Fran Tokyo. San Fran Tokyo on the token, it pumped and it's remaining above 1 ETH. Azuki on the other hand, it pumped and it dumped.
Yeah, I don't know why that is the case. Well, actually, I now that I really think about it, like first of all, San Fran Tokyo obviously is lower entry, and then also we know that this is that the Weeb Foundation or whatever is going to be San Fran Tokyo's. I think that this
You mean
whole
Azuki? You mean
no, I said yeah, the
you mean
Weeb.
Anime Foundation?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anime Foundation. This is going to be for San Fran Tokyo for
Yeah.
sure. And there was just a retweet that Azuki got, and everybody just like speculated based off of that one retweet. Like there wasn't really any information there, so I don't know. It's tough to say, but also there was that this is actually super funny, and I wish I could go back and find this tweet. But what was funny is that on the token retweet, Azuki went from like 5 ETH to 8. But when there was that announcement that they're going to be doing the anime with that well renowned yeah, like Code Geass and whatever, I can't see like the other thing, but like yeah, so they have the creative producer for like for those animes is going to be working with Azuki, and the floor didn't move at all. So it's like it's just funny that like the market, they love tokens and then they hate stuff like this.
Hmm. I think they'll like this. Like but we're just here for the money. As a trade, like, oh great. Azuki has an amazing IP. They have amazing IP. I love their branding. I love everything about it. Like why do I need an Azuki just because you're going to do an anime? Like what do I care? Great, you're going to drop an anime, I'll watch it. But oh, you're going to have a token? Cool. I have an opportunity to make money. Most of us are traders here.
Everybody's a trader, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, some people are holding some assets for the collectability, for the PFP, whatever it is. Some people are doing it for that reason. I mean, they also dropped this. Oh, oh wait, you can't hear it anyways. They had dropped this. It was like it's not an anime. It has to do with Line Friends and Beans. So we get like a little glimpse. Here they're trying to sell us. They're going down the artifact route of selling us products. The products are cool though. Um, if it loads, yeah, you get like, I guess this is for coffee. and then you get a little keychain. I'm not sure how you get your hands on this figurine. Maybe I need it for the back of my desk here. But I remember in Vegas, the trailer that they dropped in Vegas, that was a great trailer. Like that got me really hyped. And if that's what their anime is going to be, I think it could do really well. But like, why should that affect the floor? Like, why should I get? It's more branding, it's more IP, but I don't think it versus a token. You're getting a liquidity event. Which, speaking of which, do you think the token is bullish for Azuki, or do you think it's the last? They had their first sale, then they had the whole Elementals thing where they made 40 mil and everybody was pissed. Do you think this is like their last liquidity drain, or do you think it is?
Man, I would not do a token. I really would. I don't think I would if I was them. I feel like it's like, what's the point? You already have so much money, and all things considered, their community is super strong. People still rep them. And just based off of all the stuff that you mentioned with like we could even talk about the fact that on other socials, on Instagram and on TikTok, like the beans, dude, they've built like a pretty strong IP with that is catering to that web 2 audience. And I love that content. Like the beans are super cute. And so, when I look at something like Azuki and Beans and what they're doing, I have a lot more faith in them than I do with Clone X or Moonbirds or like any of those. I mean, Doodles, like those are kind of, it's just whatever. But if you had to ask me of all of it, I think Azuki has like the best chance overall with the way that they're positioned for success. And I hate to say it, but like I think that they have more potential right now than Yuga.
Azuki?
Yes.
You just mean price movement, like to go up, or what? Or the token?
Well, yes, but also just in general with the direction that they're taking. I feel like the direction that Azuki is taking is not a huge risk. And I feel like it's like a lot of people, it has like a much larger audience that they could hit, right? And that's like everybody loves anime, right? Like it's very widespread. But what Yuga's doing is, I feel like it's very risky because not everybody that is into Yuga is going to love the other side. And it's like getting people into the other side, I feel like is much, much harder than getting people to watch an anime.
A majority of ape holders will not play other side.
Right. And I guess that's my point, is that like, do I think that the majority, this is the take. I think that more people that are holders of Azuki are on board with the direction of Azuki and where it is going than there are Yuga holders that are on board with the direction that it's going.
Yeah, and then I just want to bring in the audience here. Shakina brings up Clonex probably wouldn't do a token just because Nike would never allow it. That's a good point. You got to remember Azuki's kind of free to do what they want versus they have Nike here. Dude, I did find it interesting, and this is just weird. Like, obviously there's going to be battles between all these projects. Like, they're all fighting for the attention. Weeb, if you write it, because I was searching it on Twitter and I wanted a different one and the other one was coming up. Like, they both start with WEEB. And I never realized Weeb was Weeb OX, not necessarily Weebox. But do you think it's like a thought out thing? Like, hey, we're going to be, they kind of have the same name. Maybe it's like a battle. I mean, I look at the two. What does Weebox have going for it? They have a ton. Well, they have the backing of Animoca. They also have the partnerships with different. Let me find the link here. Weebox drops. They have the partnerships with existing Web 2 IPs. They have Ghost in the Shell. They have Afro Samurai. They have Liar Liar. I've never seen that one, but it looks cool. They have the backing. So I'm just thinking, what are each of them going to go do with their token? Like, what's going to be the utility of an Azuki token, and what's going to be the utility of the San Fran Tokyo token? I know San Fran Tokyo is coming out with figurines and stuff. Maybe you're going to be able to buy it there. Maybe they have different ideas when it comes to these Web 2 IPs. I have no idea what the utility of a anime of a Azuki token would be.
Man,
does it matter? I don't know, but people just want money, right?
If it were me, and if I was in this position, and if I were ever going to launch a token for a collection, the easiest sync of all time is to have a store online that you can buy merch with the token. Like it's just that like to me, it's just like that's a no-brainer because one, if you have an IP that's worth a shit that people actually care about, like Azuki, then go on a website and go buy like a hoodie with or whatever, or like figurines, or it could be any of it. But it's just like I would like same thing with Yuga, dude. Like the fact that Yuga, like I get that they do like drops and everything, but the fact that you can't just go on to like the ape coin or the ape store and just buy figurines and you can't just buy stuff with a token, it to me is just such a it's such a fumble. Like I could be completely wrong. Like tell me why I'm wrong. But I feel like if you're gonna launch a token, like you gotta have a use. Like you have to have a use for it, man.
I guess, I mean, if you're launching you want to move merch. If you're making product, you want to move that product. And why would you limit people to only being able to buy? Like, so if a Web2 person wants to buy your Azuki hoodie or your Bored Ape hoodie, they have to go get a wallet, go buy ApeCoin, and then go make a purchase. That's just weird. You're obviously going to have a credit card option, in which
Yeah, you
case,
do
if
both.
you're giving people a discount for using the token, fine.
Yeah,
But if not, then I feel it's almost pointless.
yeah, do
But
both.
yeah, but I don't know if that's enough. You definitely need something else.
Yeah, but nobody has really even pulled it off.
No. And then we have here, Whale tweeted this out. I did find it interesting. Obviously, some of these are new, some of these aren't new, but it's just showing the change in price. Obviously, you have Azuki here. Due to the token, it's back down now. I'm sure if we did an update today, Azuki would not be, at least not as high on this list. But
Grapes are
here you
down.
have, yeah, grapes are down pretty bad, dude. I think they broke under 1 ETH.
They
But
did.
you have gaming projects performing extremely well, dude. Our L37s up 9,600%. Let's go. But you have all these PFP drops. Just either they're basically trading sideways. You have some like nouns and stuff down bad, but like captains up 10% or 13%. Doodles made a move. Some they're not doing the numbers that if you were getting some of these new mints or if you were just investing in gaming mints. I mean, I completely missed Skyborn. I believe you got into it, but the return on some of these gaming mints has just been incredible. So just seeing the narrative move from gaming, and a lot of people are into gaming over just these PFPs. It's interesting
Yeah,
to say the least.
I flipped like almost everything on this list. Yeah, grapes are at 0.8, dude.
I closed Blur. Let me pull back up Blur.
Yeah, Flood said market is pumping, but Ash said he ain't buying apes right now. Risk return is not there. We already talked about that at the beginning, and the too long didn't read is that instead of buying an ape, I would buy two pudgy penguins 100% faster.
Or just altcoins.
Or,
That was
yeah,
what I was saying. Like if you put 20 something ETH into Bored Ape versus putting 20 something ETH into, I don't know, Solana or something, a coin that everybody thinks will go up from here. I'd expect to at least get a 4 or 5x out of Solana versus a 2, maybe 3x out of an Apes. But and
yeah,
I can sell the Solana at any point versus Apes I need to dump into a bid, which Apes don't like apparently.
yeah.
L37, dude, I cannot wait to post the video of me calling the 10 will be the floor. I have that ready. I have it clipped. It's about to go.
Dude,
9.95.
that is so crazy. How that project has been up only 9.95.
Wow.
Yeah, GameFi still looking good. So I think we'll talk. Yeah, we're gonna go in and we'll talk about this a little bit. But I think one of the issues that we're seeing with like your block games, your AOF verse, like all these things, is that like a lot of these NFTs launched with the promise of a token, and we're like this has been 3 months now since a lot of these really started popping off. It was ZTX that really started it, and then Valeria. Those two projects, they had successful tokens, and I think, and then Memeland obviously, and holders definitely got a good return off of those. And then it kicked off this entire like GameFi narrative, and then since then, there's only been one token that's launched. It's been Grapes, right? Hasn't that been like the only one? And it didn't even really like perform that well. And so I think that's a problem, is that a lot of people, they like to buy an NFT with the idea that there is going to be something like more money down the road, the passive income, because everybody just wants that. And we're not seeing any of these other tokens launch. I think that's a problem.
We're going to see a lot launch in Q1. Q1 is going to be the month where a ton of these launch. Hopefully, My Pet Hooligans, man, I should have sold above 1 ETH. I'll just keep holding though, because I do think they'll do well. Pixelmon too. My Pixelmon buy is not doing good. Yeah, a lot of these, some of these are down bad with the token related narrative, I guess, is starting to slow down. But as soon as they announce that their token's going to be coming, I think a lot of these are just going to run again. Thankfully, Shrapnel is back on the way up. Same thing. In hindsight, it's easy to say, oh, I should have sold this. I should have sold this. But I expect the prices to be higher once we get to that main event that they're going to have. But yeah, GameFi, dude, I'm happy to see it doing good. Speaking of which, full disclosure, we're both sponsored, or we're both ambassadors of Cetify. But the next IGO is coming up. This is going to be the first one that I do. I'm gonna full send this one, dude. For Storm Warfare. One, it's an amazing game, but two, with Cetify's policy in the public stage where you get a full refund, it's your money is guaranteed. If you get the tokens, as long as you don't trade them, as long as you don't touch them, do nothing with them, if the multiplier isn't satisfactory to you, you can get a full refund on your investment. So I mean, for these public sales, dude, I'm just gonna full YOLO. In order to get these, there's 9 different tiers. If you want the private round, because they mention here, oops, let me mute that. They mention on the 22nd and 23rd, there is a public and a private round happening. Private, you have to be tiers 6 to tiers 9. But for public round, any of the tiers, so you need a minimum of 500 S fund. You do have to stake it. You also have to do KYC. I still haven't done that yet. And some countries, unfortunately, are banned, including America. Sucks to be you, Ash. But yeah, dude, how are you interested in this one?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I played this game and I think that it's definitely fun, right? Like I like trading card games and this one I liked it a lot when I played it. And then also obviously it's getting a lot of marketing. There's a lot of people that are on board with this and I think that it being one of the first incubations that we've seen recently from Cetify, I think that they'll do like a good push for it. So yeah, I personally think that, and obviously like as Gorilla said, like we're both involved with Cetify, but just knowing what I know, I feel as if there's going to be a lot of marketing done for these, and I just don't really see a way that they don't perform.
I mean, dude, I hope it does really well. The game is actually really good. I'm not the biggest fan of trading card games. The only one that I actually play in Web3 is Parallel. And then Web2, like I've played, Marvel Snap, Gwent is one purely because it's in the Witcher world. I'm really about the IP. I really enjoyed this game. I did the creators tournament. I believe we played against each other and I just played for fun randomly. It's actually a really good game and I enjoyed it. So I hope the token does well for that reason, but also for my bags. I want the token to do well. But I'm excited. They have a ton of ICOs coming up. So we'll cover every single one of those when the time comes. But yes, sir. Let me get the next topic right here. Speaking of gaming, we got Age of Dino. Did you hit Age of Dino, sir? Did you bid in the live auction?
I completely faded that. There's just so much stuff going on, and like I should have known. It was so obvious in hindsight. I know you're gonna say a lot about how Exterio like has to they have to have good launches, but what is interesting to me is that there have now been multiple different opportunities where you could bid on a public raffle and or just on an auction, like bid on an auction, and you're immediately 3x from where you bid. And it's like you didn't even need whitelist for that. I think that's just so crazy.
So they did have some whitelists with if you held the mech pal, which weren't tradable. I believe they become tradable after this dropped. So maybe they're tradable now, or they will be in the near future. If you had the mech pal, the advantage was you got to bid before everybody else. It was kind of set up for it to sell out at 0.59. It is what it is. I just bid 0.59. I managed to hit 2. I also had pre-sale. Dude, I sold mine higher than they are now. I made like 3 profit. I made 8K profit just selling these, flipping these. To me, it was a no-brainer, dude. I saw some people fudding it and people saying, "Oh, it's a cash grab. Like the auction price of 0.59 is too high." All this. I mean, one, they have an actual game. I haven't tested it. It seems pretty far along built. beyond that, nobody cares about the game. People care about money. They have 2 token airdrops that are going to happen. And dude, it's exactly what you said. It's a game from Exterio, the second game. The first one was Overworld, the second one Age of Dino. It has to do well. Like, it's representing their brand. And then you have Jeremy literally tweeting Age of Dino is going to be massively successful. And in the Discord, he said Age of Dino is going to cook. Like, if you ever needed a green flag, this was it. For me, it was a no-brainer. I just wanted to get as many as I could. You had to bid pretty quick if you wanted to hit, because it was like a first come, first serve for whoever bids first. If the price is tied, is going to get it. It wasn't a raffle. I managed to hit multiple, so I'm happy about that. Dude, to me, I don't understand people fighting. Like, who cares? Yeah, okay. And I'm not saying it's cash grab. Even if it is a cash grab, like, what are you doing trading in Web3? If that's how you feel about these projects, like, the same people who are saying that will go buy 5 shitcoins in the same day. Like, you telling me you're doing due diligence on all these teams, and the team is not just here to make money, launching like 15 shitcoins a week? But you'll have no problem shilling that across your timeline and putting all these tickers on people's comments. But when it comes to this, like, I don't know, all of a sudden it's against your morals. Like, I don't know, dude. It's the classic tweet from Degen Spartan: everything's a scam, shut up and make money. Like, stop thinking about this stuff. They have a legit game. It's a legit team, fully doxed, backed by Exterio, backed by Binance, literally backed by Binance, and people faded themselves. They fudded themselves out of it. To me, it's crazy.
Yeah, I faded it. And it was honestly just because I didn't have the dates. Like, this is what I will say. If I had the link up in front of me when the auction had started, I probably would have bid on it. But it was one of those things that I just didn't go out of my way to like add it to my list and like set an alarm for it, which I should have. And it's just like, that's the nature of Web3, where there's just so much stuff going on. Like, it's just a lot. There's a lot. And so, yeah, I'm with you. And I mean, if there's another auction for like the next Exterio, like, I'm going to bid on it. Like, I'm going to make, whatever. And it's funny that you mentioned that thing about like, everything's a scam, just shut up. What I think is so funny is exactly what you said. And I'm not going to talk about this very long, but like, I do think it is funny that people love to try to have like some sort of moral compass. And they're like, this team deserves money, but this one doesn't. And like, try to like pick and choose. And it's just like, dude, who cares? Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, if you're a trader, it's like your goal here is to make money.
Yeah, as long as it's not a blatant scam, as long as it's not a drainer or something, or then I understand. But other than that, I mean, another project that has been getting some FUD has been Crypto Undeads. I mean, same thing. Like, this was the projects he's bringing up weren't his projects. The guy did marketing for other projects. Has every collab manager who has worked for a project that died, like, are they all ruggers? Like, I've done consulting on projects. Does that make me a rugger? You know, because I help them with their marketing or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, dude, pre-sale is selling right now. I believe it's selling for 18 Solana. The pre-sale was 2.5 Sol, or I think the highest I heard was 20 Solana. So I don't know. More people are just pissed that they don't have pre-sale. They aren't getting whitelist. But it's funny seeing people getting mad at all these projects. I will admit, though, like, we have no idea what this project is. We know nothing about it. We've seen 2 pieces of art that are, or I guess 3 pieces that aren't even the PFP. We don't know what this is going to be. If it's going to be a PFP, maybe it's just going to be these objects, dude. We have no idea. We don't know what this is, but people are full sending. So I don't know. I'm with it. Full send.
Do you think that there's an issue with how much attention this project has gotten with how little information is out?
No, I think it's just the nature of the space. I don't know how it got this attention. I think their art looks really cool. Like, the quality at least seems there, but is that nobody cares about the art. It's just weird. It's something about the aesthetic. Like, even when somebody sent it to me when they had next to no tweets, I was just like, oh yeah, we need this. And I don't know why. It's just something in my head that I was, oh yeah, we need to get this.
Yeah.
It's strange how this happens. Some projects just hit and some projects just don't hit.
Yeah, what I find to be interesting about something like this is it's like everybody in the space loves to talk about like, what's the utility, what's this, what's that, and they'll, like, if they're holding an NFT, like, they'll complain about it, yet they will 100% lose their mind, and they will do everything that they can to get a project like this that has no peaks, no nothing, like none of that. And so, honestly, like, I think this is another example, honestly, of like, if you're in the space, Like, you don't need to go out and try to be like the savior of the space. It's like if you see an opportunity like this, the question is the mint price is going to be 3 SOL, and currently whitelist is selling for like $2,000, like 20 SOL right now on secondary markets. Like, do you think that this is going to make money? If the answer is yes, get whitelist, right? Then flip it. And if the project doesn't live up to whatever, then you just sell it, like, or whatever. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing. That literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of, and I'm not comparing it at all to Azuki. I'm saying when I first saw this, this is like a mashup, so it's not the official. All I saw for Azuki was this trailer where the girl was slashing these posters, and I saw the words Azuki on their website. Where if you hover, like you can watch my original video. That's all I saw, and I was like, "Yo, this is hype. This is dope." Like
This is hype.
you just look at a project and the aesthetic that they've managed to get, just something about it. I don't know. It draws you in. It's strange, but yeah, exactly what you said. Just get whitelist and stop. I guess the FUD is that a lot of people aren't able to get whitelist, so their next move is to just attack it.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely what it is. Is I think people know that it's going to do well and they can't get it, so they're just gonna flood.
Yeah.
Like,
We also had
point blank.
sorry, go for it.
No, I'm done.
Yeah. We also had a few. So I'll pull up the screen here again. We had a few ordinals mints that did well. We had these rupture. I tried to get whitelist for this. I was too late. One of my community members asked me if we could get it. I was literally just going to get it for him, and I didn't mind. But these performed really well on Bitcoin. They're currently at 0.09 Bitcoin. We also had. Did you manage to get these? Oh, dude,
No.
they are down bad from yesterday. Yesterday was 100. I have a screenshot. 100 pending transactions at 0.003, and now they're at the number's wrong on top here for some. Oh, I guess it's because they're being swept and it
Yeah.
counts the pending ones. But 0.001. So I had seen these. I saw these the day before, or I don't know. Everybody was posting them on Twitter, and then it took them a while to get it out. But I wrote a little L here. I really didn't like how they managed this. Obviously, I don't like people are like giving the guys death threats. I don't like that. But another mint on ordinals, just a stealth mint. That's a nice cook for people. They went up to like $300 or something. Did you try to mint them?
No, I didn't. I saw these and I kind of just like completely faded it. Didn't really like them, but I do think obviously if you had to ask me where I would rather trade right now, Bitcoin or Solana, I'd rather trade on Bitcoin for sure. I think that there's going to be a ton of opportunity on Bitcoin going into this next run. And so instead of paying attention to like say for Solana NFTs, because obviously like you have to get familiar with ecosystems, I already know ETH, and I think that I want to spend the rest of my time focusing on Bitcoin because of what's been coming out. And the next one is what? Shadow Hats?
Isn't that live right now? Isn't it like an auction that's going
Well,
on?
well, the auction already ended. It sold out
Okay.
in like an hour. So
Point
like
two.
yeah, sold out at point two. What's crazy about this is that 600 of these that went up for auction, all those inscriptions are inscriptions above like 27 million,
Yeah.
which to me it's just like I could not justify spending point 0.2 Bitcoin on an inscription that's that high, even if you did get the chance of getting like a sub 1K shadow hat. I don't know. I love like the sub 1K ones. Those are sick.
Yeah.
But it's just not I don't know. To me the issue is that point 0.2 Bitcoin is like around God, I mean that's a lot of money. It's like 4 ETH or 5 ETH or something like that if I'm not
Probably
mistaken.
5 ETH. Yeah, like 10K
Yeah.
or something.
And that's way higher than everything else that Forgotten Runes has out on ETH and everything. So I know it's different, but if you compare it like that, it feels like this was kind of overpriced.
Yeah, I mean, I like how they look though, but yeah, I agree. Like I remember, don't in the description. Okay, yeah, they switched it. Now it's 10 shadow hats have sub 1K. For a long time, they were advertising this as a sub 1K collection, and I guess a lot of people complained. So now they switched it, and they're like, "Hey, only 10 of them are sub 1K. The rest is not." It does
Yeah.
feel like they switched before they weren't doing that. But yeah, I like how they look. But yeah, I wouldn't have spent 0.2 Bitcoin on these. I hope they trade for more for whoever bought them. But Yeah,
The
dude, I'm
sub
I'm
1K
liking
ones are
ordinals though.
yeah, the sub 1K ones are cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I think those are sick, but it would have been so much cooler if they did like a 50 or like 100 collection that were under like 2000 or something like that, you know? Like to me this just feels I don't know. It feels it I don't know, having 10 and then it's like here's the other question, like if one of them is being given out on the auction for the other 600, where how do you get access to the other 9? Like where are those going to be?
Yeah, maybe it'll be another auction or so, like a special auction where
It
like people
definitely
bid
is
on
going to be.
individual pieces.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do like a max auction.
Sotheby's type of thing.
Yeah, dude. Like they're cool. Like I like them. I think they're sick.
That's
And the
definitely
fact
the
that they're
vibe.
sub 1K is awesome.
Yeah. But like you said, yeah, if there was more under whatever inscription, that'd be great. But in hindsight, right? They didn't know. They did 10, and by the time they, I guess, got around to it, they waited a while before inscribing more. Are they using like the child method where the 600 or the 656 extras are spawned from the original 10?
I don't know what the lore is there.
Recursion, how it's called?
I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. But I do know that this did sell out very quick. Like
Hmm.
I was on their space yesterday and it sold out in probably like 30 minutes after they got their website working because they had some issues initially.
But these look dope, dude. Yeah, I love the branding or the IP. Like the website is dope.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sick. The real question is like what are they going to sell for after?
Hmm.
Like because zero point 0.2 Bitcoin is a lot.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
don't know.
people, it's funny how we think of ETH, like even for what's it called? Node monkeys, dude. Like I was gonna go buy some on secondary and I realized I didn't have enough. I need more Bitcoin in my trading wallet. And then I go look and I'm like, oh, okay, it's only 0.03 or that they raffled out for. In my head, I'm like, oh, it's not that much. And then I realized, wait, 0.03 Bitcoin is actually like zero point 0.7 at the time ETH. Like, oh my God.
Dude, it's unreal. Like if you think about like a 0.02 swing on Bitcoin for an NFT, it's like
Yeah.
that's like $1,000. Like
That's why,
it's
dude.
huge.
The OMBs, man. Here, I've been eyeing these every time. I tell myself, oh, I want to buy one because I do think they're going to go to 1 Bitcoin. I keep wanting to buy one, and then I'll look one week and they're at 0.4, 0.45. I look the next week, they're at 0.56, 0.59, and then I look a week, and then I think, oh, I missed them. Then I look a week after, back down to 0.44, and it's like, dude, imagine just swing trading these. Imagine every week you've been buying at 0.45, and then you've been flipping at 0.55. You've been making dope money just swing trading these.
Yeah, I saw these went down to 0.42 and then they went up to 0.49 and it's just like if you think about how much money that is,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of ridiculous. And what I also like about Bitcoin is it feels exactly like how NFTs were back in 2021 because there is no blur, there is no bidding, there's none of that, and there's no tools really. And it's like I like that for trading because it just feels so much more organic. Like it's either gonna hold the floor is gonna be up or it's gonna be down based off of the demand.
Mm.
And you don't even have the question as to whether or not, oh, well, there's 100 apes out on loans and that's why it's down or whatever. So yeah, I like these for that reason.
Mm. Agreed. Anyways, dude, I got to run. There's another spaces. Great place to end it, guys. First show where we're only going to have more. They're only going to get better. We need to work on our branding. We need to work on a ton of stuff. Thank you, everybody who joined the first Moon or Dust show. We'll have more. I guess the next one's going to be on Monday. So get ready for it. We'll probably do Monday, Friday, or maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll tweet it. But thank you, everybody, for joining. Ash?
No, I'm good. No, this was I will say this was a lot more fun than Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta agree.
Yeah. Being able to pull stuff on screen and look at it is going to be a game changer.
This is so much more fun. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say. I know you said you gotta go. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.